We are back today again. Let's have a good stream like last one. Folding versus the overbet. I didn't play against these two players. It seems today not many familiar faces. That's not great, but it is like it is. Okay, this guy is a reg. Hmm. And that ace is not the greatest card. I'm gonna check it. Fold on the river. Let's see this Tommy guy, and I need to hand to note. I didn't do it. Okay. Tommy 1090. Tommy. Okay, fish. Bigger size. One third. I'm gonna jam here with ace 3, or we can go with the smaller size also, but I'm gonna go with the jam. We've made a bigger size. I think his range is like pocket pairs, mostly 7s, 8s. Ace 3 is pretty uh, down on our range. So I will shove it. I think mostly his hands will be 7s, 8s, stuff like that. And Jack is pretty good card also. Because our bluffs will have the Jack, our bluffs on the turn, hands like Queen Jack. So, and also we can jam Jack on the river, because he doesn't have, against the bigger size on the flop, he doesn't have a lot of King X hands. Basically hands that he has of King X are King of Hearts hands like King 10, King Jack, King Queen. So Jack is also a good card. Checking there. Check raising against bigger size. His check raising is only 7% at team stat name. His bluff's gonna have a 7 pretty often, hands like 5-7 suited, 7-8 suited. and his aggression is pretty low here also. He reps pretty like deuces, sixes, hands like 3-5 suited. His bet turn and frequency is low, but I think we need to call it again because he reps only a few combos. The problem is a lot of his bluffs are gonna have 7x, and I didn't play with him. His real aggression is 34. His turn aggression is 29, and this turn will, he needs to check a lot on this turn. I'll fold sevens. Tell me if you did get notification today about stream. It should be here now. A lot of new faces and unfamiliar. But we're gonna try to see how we're gonna play in this no sample spots. Gun, let me check him. I think the sevens we can fold on the turn because they are pretty bad also, but he shouldn't be betting on that 4. So he's a bad rag. Okay, opening force is 7 suited calling, and I'm gonna see if on Gerda we have better sample there. On a stab with the a7, I defend a lot of 6x hands off. I have 4-6 off plus, so I have 6-8, and I have advantage here. This ace has a lot of his ace highs that are just check calling, so I'm gonna check. I'm gonna put it here. I'm not gonna bet on that ace because he's gonna have more ace highs that are check calling then I'm gonna have ace highs that are stabbing the flop. So we have a pretty good table, also one I really like. Okay, this guy's a fish, but if I go 4 tables immediately, if I go 4 tables, I think I won't be able to talk much about hands. That's the problem, and I want to be able to talk about hands. Again, bad rag, king 3, falling on the flop. Ace-10 fold. Hey Ivan, Good luck to you also if you play. And you didn't answer me last time. I asked you, do you play on Supersport, Croatian poker site? Also by a nickname Ivan 0303, I think, or something like that. And I'm interesting because then we played against each other. Not many hands, but few hundred maybe. Against two regs, I'm gonna have a lot of checking on this board. Because we are not equity favorites, we just can't see but that much. Here I can go for a check raise. I'll do it. Go like this. I don't see how he played multi-way, but he did step 2 out of 2 times. So this is the third time. A7 folding. Great. So you did get notification. That's great. That is really good. Against us is 12%, 6%. I'm gonna forbet this combo of ace queen. Queen 3 off folding. I have one more table, but I don't know if I want to leave, because here now I have sample on these two guys. At least this guy is a wreck. Ace jack opening, squeezing here. He immediately calls a squeeze. I don't know his range, so I'm just gonna try to check it out and make some assumptions. Folding here with this. He's really aggressive. His aggression frequency is 76. He doesn't fold at all to a trivet. Pretty high stab numbers, bet numbers, high aggressions. I would say he doesn't fold at all to a trivet. And we can check call or jam, because his range is pretty wide and he's stabbing everything, so I'm gonna jam it. His range is pretty wide, he can stab any hands. Eights needs protection, and we are far from. He's gonna have here like queen jack off stab. We just want to fold those hands, so I like the jam. Hello Zemo. Zemo is here. So this is not too late for you, Zemo. I'm glad you are here. I'm glad that you're here, man. Ivan, I had some notes. You tried. You didn't play passively against me. That I remember that. You didn't play passively, so it was fun. It was fun to be playing against you, but we didn't play for a longer time. So if you asked me before 1 year, I could say more, but I saw you playing like before a few days, but I didn't play on Supersport, so So I don't know, but it was fun to play. I remember that you were being aggressive against me, and I have interesting hand on the other. But nothing happened. I'm just gonna stay on these two tables so I can talk about hands. Delay is good this time, yes, it is. You learn from when you uh, when you mess something up, you learn from it. First time I was streaming before 3 years. Uh, First session I played like 4 hours, but I didn't have delay, and it was. I noticed something is strange because people were checking. I had nuts. People on the river would be checking me second nuts, so I noticed something is wrong. I did. Uh, I thought I did enter delay, but it didn't accept, and I didn't check it out, and people were getting crazy that stream, and I had and I had really long stream, so it was it was pretty funny. I was just seeing, well, like, how he's checking this. Something is wrong. Nobody didn't say anything, and after I noticed something is wrong, one guy told me, "Hey, you play without the delay." Okay, I'm gonna leave this table and add the one that I have on the right side. 6-4. I'm gonna open it. The guy has around 20%. Uh, he did flat ace king here, pocket pairs. I'm gonna go with the check. Here I can bet against 20% range because he'll probably have hands like ace high, maybe even ace 10 off. You see, it's 15% of call and 5% of a tribute. That's 20% of the range that he has, so he's gonna have hands even like king queen, king queen off Broadway's like queen jack off, and he did stab a lot. He now he checked. We can go small size. Small size. You see he's falling to a lot on a river bet. After call turn in position we don't have. I can go with a small bet here. You who plays differently than I play, he won't do really crazy stuff ever, but he he has the best fundamentals of all of us, and he will never do something that is not appropriate in that spot, and that's also important on when you play with a lot of bad players, like like there's a lot of bad players on super sport, so that's sometimes a lot more important than balls. Balls can get you in trouble. uh, okay, but what I notice, I noticed that you have a sense to play, for what I remember, because I immediately recognized you. Uh, so it was fun playing. You played aggressively. You played back at me. It was betting, four betting, three betting, barreling. Okay. small size. I'm not I don't know what type of the range this guy has. I would need to check it out, but pretty wide range probably. On two broadways, of course, we have a big range advantage. We can go small bet. I think 4-5 is definitely small bet. Ace 10 open here. I'll check behind. I'll check this guy. The DiCaprio. I'll check here. I'll delete DiCaprio 11. I'm gonna fold to check raise. I don't like that play here because he's gonna need to stab a lot. When I check behind here, I'm gonna have like mostly the queen I'm gonna have is gonna be like ace queen and some king queens, but queen 10 and queen jack is always c-betting this board, so he should be stabbing really aggressively on this queen. And when he's going to check raise here, I'm not gonna I will also have hands here that can take the check raise, because a part of aces can check behind, hands like queen 9, so it's not problem. But he wants to be aggressive, he wants to bet queen x, he wants to bet hand like 9-10, and he should be stabbing aggressively with small size, and he's going for a check raise here, and I don't think it's a good play. You can stab here a lot with small size, and you can stab a lot here with also overbet size. So stab overbet turn with some bluffs. It's better than this check raise. Okay, I'm gonna fold it. I'm gonna leave the replayer. Small blind versus button here. 9x is good for us because it hits our king 9, queen 9, jack 9 suited that we always have. I also bet 8s in this spot. We can bet high frequency on this board. I'm gonna check here. His fold versus c-bet in 3-bet pots pretty around 40%. We are in the heads up, so he's gonna have hands that needs to float, hands like ace 10 with ace 10 needs to always call, king queen needs to call with the diamonds, ace queen is always call, ace jack is a call. So here I'm just gonna go with a block bet. We still get value from 6s, 7s. He's gonna have like some ace highs hands, so I'm just gonna go with the defensive here. I don't think he has many 5x. I'll just try to find one more table. And I think I have a good sample on this one. So I will do it. Pretty big size here. I'm gonna fold. I'm not sure Zem on which hand. 4-5. I'll just go here to see what hand do you think. 4-5. Ah, okay. 4-5 against this guy in a 3-bet pot. Okay, I remember now. I remember now. I go small size there, just basically because I can bet a lot, and I think 4-5 can barrel turn, and you can fold on turn those hands. uh, if you go bigger, you need to understand that his fold versus c-bet is low, and I don't think he's folding like nines on ace queen, because his fold, I will tell you, I saw that pretty low, 30%. I don't think they are just folding that nines like that. My experience, they're just not folding that nines immediately. His fold is 20%, so you're not gonna fold out a nines with a bigger bet. And with 4-5, then you're barreling turn. You need to at least, I mean, you are basically down on your range. It can be more down on your range with 4-5 is the worst hand in your range. So what you're going to do on the turn, you're going to give up uh, what is then planned for river. And if you barrel the turn, how can you not bluff river with that hand? Because you will never win. You will show hand that's never good on it. That shouldn't be ever going to showdown. So I think it's better plan to go small on flop and barrel turn, and to see then the structure of the board, to see if we can rep river. If the Broadway hits, it's always good bluff with 4-5. So that was the plan for me. That's why I bet small, because I don't think they will just fold immediately. I saw that he has low. Uh, this hand is really nice to bet. I'm gonna bet 1/3 here. Uh, Having ace of clubs, it's good, so I will double barrel it on, like, I won't bet it on like 8 or 9, but on blank I will bet it. He's gonna fold. He's gonna call here. I saw that uh, that his range is not folding anything on the flop. He did he raises around 10% here. He reps like, maybe, I don't know, is he raising king jack, ace jack? I can go for a 3-bet though, so I can call, but against this small size, smaller raise, I can call. His aggression on the flop is around 30. On all streets it's like 30. He's more of a calling station, it seems. Then he's like a really aggressive player. He's more of like calling station type of player. So we're gonna see. I know his bluffs, but I really don't know how this guy play. What is his range of raising? I'm gonna fold it against him. He's not really aggressive. He can raise. I mean, there are obvious a lot of bluffs like queen 9, backdoor spades that we are not blocking. But his frequencies, aggressive frequency, is not that high. So I don't think that he's doing it, and he's raising. His check raise in everything is only like 10%. Check raise and raise from the team stat name. So I don't think he's doing it with the hands that should be doing it. Like we saw in the yesterday's stream, we just don't know what type of the raising range he has. Is he raising hand like we block ace jack and king jack, which is also good, but he's not folding a lot of to a 3-bet, so he's gonna have probably like jack 10 off also in the range, and he's not really aggressive. So and he's calling station guy, so not folding to a c-bets. So I think it's more likely that he's gonna call queen 9 that he's gonna raise it in position. So that's the reason I fold the turn. Yes, I remember that, but I mean, we didn't play a lot of hands. But from what I remember, I thought you played the decent, you played the aggressive, and you didn't be. I thought don't, you are not afraid of like making calls or plays. That was my impression at that time. Ace 5 4. I'm gonna fold 7 9. Uh, I'm gonna check this guy up also. Again, we are starting session without any any without many familiar faces, and I don't like playing like that. This guy is a reg, normal reg, folding, tight reg, 24-19. He did play 2.1 million hands. That's that's uh, that's telling us something. Whoever plays 2.1 million hands at least knows the basics. And okay, I'm just gonna try to see if we can get one more table, because if he leaves then we are just three tabling the three only three players, three max. Let's see, I'll put a waiting list, and immediately got a table. That's great. We can make, if you're interesting, I have also heads up HUD I made with all the labels, and if one day we can play a heads up session also. I also like to play heads up. I'm checking 6-10. A lot of queen X that he's gonna hit, but still it's not bluff. And now he's overbetting. I just don't know what he's now repping. It just doesn't have any sense. Like ace 3 of clubs, ace deuce of clubs, that type of the hand. I'll just play with heads up, play heads up with him now, just because the hand doesn't have any sense. And I know the guy, he's really tight, so he's not bluffing, because he would bet his like gut shots on the turn, where because he has high range advantage and he knows it. So this overbet, I would say it's probably hand like ace of clubs. We don't know his check fold here, but we're gonna have a lot of bluffs, so I'm gonna bet it. And he has range advantage here, so he should be betting pretty aggressively. And I don't think he should be checking like ever over pair. He should be also betting ace king and ace queen here a lot. Ace 10 also. But I like few last stream I said he needs definitely to bet ace king ace queen always, and then the guy shows with ace king. So he should, but it doesn't mean that he will. And also here, look, this guy is c-betting 99 in position 99. So he did c-bet every board, and now he did check this board, and now he's overbetting the river. He's gonna bet his bluffs all on the flop. So I don't know how can he even have bluffs here. He's gonna turn like, I don't know, 9x into bluff, never. So when they try something like this, it's funny, because what type of bluffs you're gonna have when you bet 100% of the range on the flop? What bluffs you're gonna have in the check call on the check call on the turn step, and then a river? I would say he's never bluffing, because all his bluffs are on the c-bet, and he's not gonna turn into a bluff tens here. or the tens that has sense to be checking on this board. But even tens he can bet small on this board because he has, we are three betting even sixes plus, so pretty, we don't have range advantage there, and he can be betting a lot, and now he's checking. Hello Murta. Yesterday's stream was nice. I really had fun. I streamed for 6.5 hours yesterday because I had fun, and it was a good stream. Here we have, it's good we have eights and fives here. We have 8 10 suited. We can check raise this. I'm gonna go like this. The bad news, he has 20% of range only, so he's gonna hit this board harder. He's not gonna have, he has ace 10 off in the range in the 20% open because this is middle position, but still we have a gut shot and we are 3-betted 4x. Okay, folding. Let's see his fold to check raise. C-bet fold to check raise 3%. Let's see, C-bet and 3-bet pretty high, and he did here use also pretty big size, like almost 4x with ace 10. So when he has it, this is like really significant. You see, using really big size with the 3-bet to check raise, and I think ace 10 is not that great to have as aggressor, and against the check raise to go to 3-bet it like this against this to 4x size, and this is important. So again, when we check raise him and he only calls, he's gonna fold, and this number also shows it, he's gonna fold a lot, because if you're having immediately 3-bet range with your 2-pair plus hands, you're gonna have a shitty situation when you call a check raise, because you will probably not be balanced. Okay. Good one, good one, Zemo. Okay, I don't know this guy. I'm gonna check him out for a quickie to see his 3-bet range. At least if he has like at least 7-8% that we can 3-bet big blind versus cutoff. 7%. Okay, we can call again 7%. It's nines plus ace queen, ace 10 ace queen, ace jack, king queen suited, probably also king jack suited and queen jack, and that's probably it. I don't think he has suited connectors, and this board he hits good. King queen and ace queen and ace king are the overcuts he has, but he have they have also equity, they can barrel, but he should be betting all his range also. I'm gonna check behind here. This hand, I'm gonna check behind. It sucks to be check raised in this spot, check shove, and we still have hands that's gonna check. Also we have jack 10 always here, and that's really good. Okay, I'm gonna bet it, and I'm gonna use like this size. Okay, he has hand that's always calling. We are not blocking diamonds, but also I like here to check behind. I don't think we need to shove on the river. We still have hands. We still have hands that are gonna value bet. We are gonna still check behind some jack x's, king, like queen jack or king jack, and we have jack 10 suited. We have a hand like 9 10 of diamonds. So we have few hands that are gonna, that can bet like this. I'm gonna go like this with the bigger size, but still I'm just thinking about my range. Yes, I think like hand like king jack definitely can bet like this size. We have, I think we have also tens here that will always play like this. So okay, we have combos, and 6 7 is also always bluffing because we are never winning. We are not blocking his folding range, so I'm satisfied. Let me see what you write. Yes, yesterday it was really good peer analysis. I really enjoyed it because I learned some stuff about playing against really wide range when they have nuts advantage. It's something I played it really on the wrong side, and now I understand why the peer plays it like he plays it. So it's always good when you disagree. It's always good because it starts discussion, and from discussion you can learn, and I can also learn. So nothing bad can happen from discussion, even if you are wrong. uh, True betting here. I agree. This is really interesting questions from Zema. Zema is asking, uh, I saw the Andre guy. This guy has only c 45%. Uh, but you need to take one consideration here. You need to take in consideration his check fold turn. You see, he's c-betting 45%, but he can be bluff heavy. For example, he can c-bet a lot of his there and check behind stronger. So you need to see what is his check check call range, what it looks like. So you go here and see, okay, you see a lot of top pair hands, but it's top pair weak kicker, but king jack here is pretty high. So you see if he's check check calling, let's see again, ace 10, he hit the ace on the turn, but here he did check behind with the king jack on king 4 7. This is significant because king jack should be always be betting. So I would say definitely this guy doesn't bluff a lot with the c bet. So not mine, but everybody should adjust to him uh, by just overfolding to his c bets, and also you need to take into account when you're stepping the turn that he has a range that can stand without problems that steps, and you need to balance your range to put him in a tough spot. You need to mix overbets on the turn also with steps. You need to mix overbets on the river. Let's see, check check raise range also, it's important. Does he immediately check raise his value? And it seems like he is. So definitely I think let's go to see how much he folds river bet. You see he's folding 60% even in position versus river bet out of position. It's also against 60%. So I think against this guy you don't need to make like big adjustments because even his range is stronger. He doesn't defend it well on the river, so you can just adjustment the greatest adjustment to be overfold to his c bets. Uh, when he's playing passively, uh, for example, call your turn step, or you check raise him and he only calls because we saw that he's 3 bets his value hands. You just attack his range when he's not aggressive, and you attack him with overbets, and then on the river you also attack him with overbets. So I would say that's the best adjustment. Do you have raise range on the jack 3 4? Can you again jack 3 4? Let's see what was the spot. Jack 3 4. Can you tell me where was that hand? And mm, what part of the range do you want to fold out with a big size? I just need to you need to tell me just positions. If I have any hand bother me, I always ask Murta, but he always said to me, if everything bothers me, he just said to me, just fold, man. And that's it. He's just basically folding everything. So I just can't ask him because he will say always fold, and I will feel bad because I need to always fold. So I don't ask him anything anymore, because every time I ask him anything, he just said me, just fold. I mean, I didn't even ask him, he just said fold. So I didn't want to ask him anymore. Uh, Zema, just explain me, is it like button versus big blind, Jack 4 3? And if it is, you definitely a two-tone Jack 4 3 two-tone, you definitely want to have raising range, because if check raising range, if it's that positions, because you obviously have well range there, threes, fours, Jack 4 suited, so you need to have also bluffs. But just tell me always when you ask me about the hands, because of the delay I just forgot. Sometimes just tell me the also what are the positions, what is situation, and stuff like that. Bernie, 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 Bernie 690. Bernie is a big fish. Okay. Bernie. Folding king 4. Let me see how much of a call range has Bernie, because this hand is not that bad to be betting, but I'm gonna use with the smaller size. Bernie fold to C bet, fold to C bet. Fold to C bet is 30 20 10 for in every street. So okay, check on the turn. I think small bet against normally here you don't want to have big C bet against the GTO range of 4% on button, but against probably 20-30% you can basically bet like 9s, 10s, 8s with 1/3 without problems. So we are check calling the turn, and he hits ace-10. Okay, did he have blocker? He didn't. Okay, I need to find one more table, then I will answer the questions. One more table, and I found him. Here's also pretty strange what he's repping now, because Queen X should be bet this flop, 10x also most of them, and I don't think he's repping like, it feels like he's repping like 8s or like 8 9, which we are blocking. So I'm just gonna call it without problems, because he's not repping a lot. Have a bigger range advantage on this board. I can put, usually you want to bet big on this board, so if you're just having one bet size, definitely this hand then should go to a check. If you have two sides with small and the big size, then you can put it in the small size, but I don't want to put it in the big size, ace 4 without blockers, so I'm gonna play it like this. Okay, something happened. Okay. I don't think he'll bluff much here. Normal reg, we won't bluff this card because we look like we have a lot of Jack X hands, so we're not gonna be bluffed. I would say ever from a normal reg in this spot. So I'm gonna check behind here. Okay, we have another table. He did overbet the turn with ace 9. Let me now read what happened. I see that. Okay, now I fix it. I zoomed unintentionally. I zoomed in one table. I didn't see. Okay, let's see what Panzer is saying. He like pure houses. I also thought about that hand. He's not gonna fold it against me. That's what I was trying to say to Morta also. They're not gonna fold tens against me, because I mean I'm three betting really much in those type of spots, and what I'm seeing from my experience, they also call for like, I saw like ace jack off, and I saw like nines, because they see me really losing that spot. But that was my opinion. I think they're just basically speaking from experience they have. So if they didn't see stuff like that, they just can't. They just, I don't think they can see how people see me. They just can't put it in my shoes. So they were just speaking from their experience. You are shut down. Great. Okay, I've called tribute with 6-7. Oh, yeah, I can remember now the hand. Yes, I do have a raising range there, because after this hand I will. Morta is advising me to fold, but he doesn't fold, and the worst thing is that's the truth. I know that he doesn't fold. Let's go like this. Squeezing. Let's see his squeeze. Okay, I'm gonna go with the 4-bet. His squeeze range is pretty wide. This fish will be also here. He's gonna also, he did fold to a 4-bet 3 times. I'm not gonna call in this spot to having also a fish in position, but we are against showdown, so great. But I think ace queen off, I feel it's better way played as a 4-bet in this spot. You see, he squeezes a lot, the fish is in. I don't feel, I mean we can call also, but we are not closing the action, and that is something I don't like. That's why I didn't want to call. Panzer is a nit. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, what are definition of nits? I also put a lot of players like this, put them, this is my nit label, and the people in the chat just say to me, this guy's, how can you put him as nit? He has like 24-20. But I just feel it doesn't even important like stats. It's important his like bluffing frequencies, his way of playing. You see turn barrel nothing, you see c-bet out of position nothing, double barrel nothing, not aggressive, not bluffing on the river, folding to river bet like 80% when he's on the river. So people have different definition of nits, and they basically the normal definition is like if somebody plays, I don't know, 17 14, he's a nit. It doesn't need to be like this. He can play like 23 18 and I'm still labeling him as a nit. So I don't think it's important. Even the stats are not important. It's just the way he plays. It's important. When you see like double barrel in position 35%, what that means, like what he's double barreling, and of course he's gonna have triple barrel 83 because he has only nuts. So what can he do with only a nuts? He can just bet it on the river, and 17% check is when the river is the worst card in the deck. So but the good news is that I was shoved on like 3 times in 4 hands, so great. I really like that start of the session is great. But I still feel the hands that we had are good bluffs. And also, I mean, some people say, okay, you have a fish, but you're not closing the action. I think it's important to close the action in this spot, because what you're gonna do on the flop, when this guy as a pre-flop raiser even checks, you have fish behind. What you gonna do? Are you gonna be stabbing immediately? It's it's much better to call when you close the action. So I feel that's why I choose the 4 bet in this spot. Okay, we have 2 guys with sample, that's good. Jack 9 is always call. 58% fold to 3 bet. And let's, you see, Genga style has a regish Gangsta, and also we need to 3 bet here. We're gonna go like 16.5. Genga style, gangsta, and we are shoved again. Gangsta style. They just had hands, so it seems that they just had hands against us. Gangsta styler. Okay, I found that. I'm gonna go with bigger size against this guy. 1/3 here. He's a fish. Bernie, what I know about Bernie. Bernie is a guy that folds, I think, 10, 20, 30 on streets or something like that. Bernie 690. I think from my oh no, 30, 20, 10. 30, 20, 10. So we're not gonna fold him out of anything. So I think it's okay like this. Again, I apologize. I need to watch. I locked it, but I'm still zooming it. I need to watch it always. I have the zoom options, but I don't think it's necessary for 2 tables. You see, I can zoom in one of them, but okay, it's good now. We're speaking about that hand with 6-7. Do I have a raising range? Yes, I have a raising range because I think you still want to have a raising range because I think part of ace jack wants to raise, you can have bluffs like king 10 as a bluff raising position. You also have sets, so you can get sets into it, some part of the sets, and you can do with turning pair into bluffs, like if it's 3-4 jack, you can do it with like 4-5, so you can have bluffs. I can go 1/3, I can go bigger. I choose bigger here. I'm gonna check also yellow rose. Yellow rose 88. Yellow rose 88. He's a reg and also played a lot of hands. But soon when I see like nickname, I just knew that he's a reg. No fish gonna call himself Yellow Rose 88. You see, like fish will have like nickname like Bernie, but Self Arkle will never be a fish. And Gangsta Style also. No reg gonna call like himself like this. And Slow Drop also, it feels too deep to be a fish. I think I can just guess in 85% time by the nickname. And also a lot of numbers, regs don't use a lot of numbers. That's my experience also. King Jack calling, a big blind versus button. I'm using polarized strategy again, around 50% range. Using high frequency c-bet, and he's not checking. Let's see delay range. You see, he's mostly delay bluffing, but he's not check folding a lot. So I'm gonna go with small bet here with the king jack. But he did fold. Murta is saying about limp strategy. I didn't ever limp. I'm not gonna limp in a cash game. I just don't feel good. My wife would be like disappointed in me, so I'm not gonna limp. Or I mean, it's you can just open more because if he's not folding, then if you're playing 60% against his 90, it's better. I'm not sure about that limps. I'm gonna go with the small. nice conclusion. It's harder to orbit shove the river. I don't like that limping. It feels unnatural, and then you need to think what he's gonna be, what his range looks like. Is he gonna be, is what he's gonna isolate? It's hard to put him on the range. It's hard for me to have idea of my range, and I don't feel good. And I never saw you limp also, so you are just like that. You're giving advices that you never take by yourself. You're just like that when two girls are speaking and they say just leave him, he's just good, you're just too good for him, and then after like few months she's now dating him. You're just like that. 35% only open. You see, I'm not gonna, in this spot I'm not gonna like raise this type of hand. He's not check. I'm gonna go small. We don't know how he play. This is only one occasion. He did check raise one out of one time, but still Jack 10 is nice hand to stab. 9-10 is a fold. Ace 8 is a fold against probably around 6-7% of the range. Against us it's even less, so it is a fold. Even against like that 3x, I opened 2.5, and when the guy is raising me to 7.5, you can basically call more than in GTO solvers, because GTO solvers act like you are three bet from 2.5 to 8.5. So if they choose 7.5, then you can call a lot more hands. You're like basically can call all your suited connectors, because they are just 0 EV, and they can just get, they will not take money from you for your winnings, and they can give you a board coverage, and if you're better than player you're playing against, you can make money on them. But it's important to see difference between 2.5 and 7.5 3 bet and 2.5 8.5 3 bet, because it's a lot difference in hands that you can call. I mean that ace 8, it's against probably 6%, so it's not call, but if it's like 9%, then you can call. And I'm never bluffing with ace 8 suited, so I can just call it. Okay, Bernie is now potting it and calling with queen 10 off, queen 10 suited. Okay, this is such a I mean, you see aggression 35, and he just decides, okay, this guy called 3 bet with nines. It's terrible. I hate when somebody called 3 bet. I would ban people who does that play, because it doesn't have any sense. You want to be always uncapped and aggressive, so this play is so annoying. I hate it. And this guy just bets, guy shoves, and he steps spot and he calls with queen 10. Pretty calling against 24%, 60% only c bet, and his range, okay, his range is normal. Okay, I'm gonna call it, check it, and I'm gonna call you see, for example, here he should be betting again, like hands like ace queen, hands like ace jack. Mostly he needs to bet it, so he's not check folding turn a lot, but it's all middle pairs. So this guy, I would say that he can check like king x. Here I'm gonna go with an overbet step. We are having queen jack off, queen 10 off. We just can we can have bluffs, and he should be betting hands like ace queen and ace jack, and he doesn't have two pair with ace 8 and ace 7, so his range is not that great on this ace, and that's why I decided, if I'm stabbing here, I'm going to stab with an overbet often. I'm going to mix 1/3 size and overbet size 1/3. We can do with hands like ace jack, hands like ace 10, and we can mix also some hands like flush in that range, but we can just mix 1/3 and an overbet size. Fold. Yes, you limp a lot in the tournaments. We don't have sample here to be calling this smaller versus early position. So I think that you see he's not check folding a lot. He's not check raising also a lot, so it's even better to have an overbet range. Check call fold is pretty high, so we can go with 1/3 a lot and bet river a lot. Let's go here. If he 4-bets, we are only calling. We talked about it in yesterday's stream. I don't have in these spots When I get 4 bet deep, I don't have 5 bet range. I only call 4 bet. I never 5 bet anything. I think it's better strategy because you are then uncapped and you don't need to balance with 5 bet, and basically you can have board coverage in any spot. So that's the reason why I'm choosing that 4 bet only call 4 bet deep with all my range that I'm continuing. Because I just think if you're 5 betting like many players on lower limits do, they just 5 bet like kings and aces there, and I know they can even mix ace king, but still if you do like king and aces deep, just think about all the boards like 7 8 9 9 10 jack 6 7 8. What you're gonna do on those type of boards? You're gonna stack off with deep with aces and kings every time. You won't have ever board coverage, and that's the reason I'm gonna have all board coverage I need, because I would just call 4 bet with everything, with aces, with kings, with queens, with ace king, uh, with king jack suited, jack 10 suited, 6 7 suited. So definitely a lot of board coverage deep, and it's easier to play. But people just are afraid, okay, I'm gonna call with kings, what will happen? Ace will come, what I will do then? You just don't understand. You don't need to just think about in that way. Ace will come, you will have ace king. Ace will come, you will have aces. So you will always have some type of board coverage. I'm going small here with the queen jack 666. Definitely big range advantage. I'm gonna go with 1/3, because with I think with on 666 on bigger size I would use with like hands with nines. Hands like nines I can use bigger size, and hands like 9 10 suited, uh, jack 9 suited I can use bigger size bluffs like that. Hands like eights probably wants to bet bigger size, tens, and bluffs should be then including that hands like 8 9 and 10. So jack 10 suited, 9 10 suited. Because if you bet with the big size 9 10 suited and you fold out king 10 off, that's like really good for your hand. But if you bet small 9 10 suited, hand like king 10 off will always call, and that's the reason why PO chooses different sizes. It's much easier to play with only one size, but it's much better to have multiple sizes in every spot. It's much better. We're again 3-betting this guy. This is three times now. If he's 4-betting, we are only calling. Like we said, we are only calling all of our range. From what I remember, I thought that he did 4-bet decent amount. Okay. I'll check behind this combo on this board. It's not. I don't block ace 10 suited, so connected board. I will not bet this ace king with the ace of clubs and king of diamonds. And the turn I'm gonna delay with 1/3. Ace hits us, okay. Ace queen I would probably rather bet. I'm gonna go with 1/3. I think ace queen is better as a bet, but ace king with these two blockers I'm not gonna put in the bet range. I'm gonna go again 3-betting this guy. Let's go to deep pop-up just to see if we have. Okay, he did call 3-bet 2 out of 2 times deep, but he did fold now. And it's pretty interesting to talk about strategy because, you know, for example, that spot with the 4 bets and just only call. Just think about how it's good to play and you're always uncapped. So you call 4 bet, but you can have basically anything. So just think about how your opponent is. They are just because your range is wider now, and they have trouble to play against that range because okay, I have in this spot ace king, but the guy also has ace king. You had in this spot kings, but the guy also have kings. So basically, you need to change your strategy a lot because uh, many boards that hits you great hits also the opponent really great, maybe even better than you. So that's why it's nice to choose my strategy in that spot. And also there's one cool strategy I wanted to talk about. For example, three betting pot out of position. So the three better is out of position, three betting you, and you're in position, and the board gets like ace xx, and the guy checks. I really like to talk about, and there's two type of strategy, but one is really good and I really like it, to have a check range when he's checking out of position. That strategy for me is so good, great. It's so high EV strategy, but you need to be really creative, and I know that Gale plays that strategy and I really like it. So really interesting to talk about that, because for example other guy from Croatia, the Juhu, that all of you know, he used completely different strategy in that spot. Okay, queen deuce diamonds probe, kind of have feeling pull always delay ace 10 ace queen. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting thought. I'm not sure. I must say I'm not sure. I would really need to think about it more. Opening 70% on this sample. And he didn't bet. I mean, this hand is on 1/4. I'll call it. He didn't bet here, but still. Okay, or bet. We are again tributing this guy. Again, if he 4-bets, we are only calling. I'm gonna have check range on this type of boards. 4-5-8 check range, 4-6-8 suited check range, and I think it works really good. I'm gonna check behind us once more here. I'm gonna check just 4-bet range of this guy. Check 4-bet range. 4-bet range pretty low. I'll fold it against him. He just 4-bets in position like 2%. I'm just gonna fold against it. Panzer is asking me on Skype, do I really think that Ivan is an okay player? I didn't say that because he's in the audience and I'm like sucking up to any. I don't suck up to anybody. I always speak my mind. From what I remember, he did play decent because, but we played against each other like it was a longer time ago. But he did play pretty aggressive, and that's what I like. And also, I remember that he made some plays or good calls. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go 1/3 on the delay. I think people will on this type of boards. I should be betting a lot, so I should bet just the flop. Uh, but I didn't because I was trying to speak about this. Uh, I really speak my mind. I didn't say that. Let's see how much. I mean, I need to bluff this. I just want to see after calling turn. After calling turn, he's not folding a lot. I'm just gonna go with an overbet. I'm gonna rep deuces here, but or kings that check behind. But I just need to do it. He will not fold to a lot to normal size. And what are we repping? We are repping king. I mean, we can bet like tens here, but tens are betting smaller size, and I see that he's always calling that smaller size. So I decided to rep like deuces or like kings that check behind, or some monster hand. Smaller versus cutoff. I'm gonna forfeit it against this type. He's really three betting a lot against me. 28% in this spot, 17% generally. I'm gonna forfeit ace jack, and again we are shoved on. I think this is 5 times I get shoved on. Annoying. I can also call ace jack against this type, but I like this combo. I talk about that randomization of combos, and generally when I have ace of black and jack of red color, I do it with one day. I do it with to put that in the 4-bet range, because for example against like 70% you need to 4-bet 1/3 of your ace jack off. So I'm gonna call because of the Bernie, and he's opening also quite a lot, so I can call king queen. I don't need to trivet it. Harmut, I'm not gonna go now. He did see bet quite often, all or all the time, but it's only one out of one time, so it doesn't mean anything. I'm gonna bet turn smaller also here. And I was trying to say, I really remember Ivan that he did play decent, uh, and I also saw him playing in like last week or something. So I just speak what was my impression. I'm never nice to my audience. I always say what it is. If you don't believe it, just watch the streams from before 3 years. I always say what I think. I will always say like that. I will never go in someone's way, because why do it? Just speak your mind and that's it. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're proven to be wrong, okay, then you can accept it. But generally, just speak what you think, and that's the way to go. Morta, I can speak my mind about Morta. Morta is a guy that if he has a mental game that is average, would be an excellent player. So his head is fucked up, but he's skilled. He has talent. He understands very fast. Uh, but his head is really fucked up. I mean, he's the guy that if he see that one guy has a hand that shouldn't be head that shouldn't have any never, and he see that hand, and if the guy wins against him, Murta is done for that day. So that's Murta, but he got really bit. He's got a talent. He's really fast learner. Uh, I always when I work with him, uh, he always understands like immediately, and he has really good presumption. So if he had a good head, he would be really excellent player from long time ago. But that's why he asked for help and he get the help, and now he's starting again. I'm gonna again call it because of the burn in the blind. So Zemo, you heard people investing saying they never played versus more talented player. My experience says that I stake Murta for some time in the for some time in the live poker, and my wife told that my wife was being afraid that I have a mistress, that I have a lover, because I was losing so much money that that it was unbelievable. Like all the time, Murta, bad beat. I didn't have luck. They called me light. I bluffed and it didn't go well. So always something like that. So I don't know if that's what the people for Westin are saying, but yes, he's really talented. I always say when people ask me about him, what I think, I always say that he really has talent and he's really skilled, but he needs to take a mental game, work on it, and I'm gonna go with 1/3. I'm not sure about. I mean, this is the type of board I need to check a lot, but I think this guy is fish. I mean, I mark him as a fish, but I think he's still has a really wide range. And if he's having wide range, we can just bet a lot. We were similar spot. Let me see. Kings, gangsta style. And I just can't find it now. I can even shout this combo, but I just don't know how much how aggressive he is or not. Let's see here. Go on. Okay, I find him. Let's see his. Okay, he's really aggressive, raising really a lot, raising really a lot. So he's raising 16%. Okay, I'm okay with it. Falls to 3 bet only 35%. Basically wide. I mean 35% fall to 3 bet. So he'll have wide range. I like the bet with 1/3. Not blocking any backdoor draws, backdoor flush hands. Uh, I like now 1/3 a lot. He raises. I mean, what can he like? What is his raising range here? I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, about except this set hands is going to raise 7s, 8s here. Is he going to raise like I don't know 5-7 suited or raise 5 suited? If we know that, then I can even shove this hand. I will never fold it, of course, to that size, so. Calling ace jack of this. It's 1/3 of a 4-bet. Here, when it's fish in, I have a betting range. I'm gonna go with 1/3. 24% against us, 32. So we don't have, but we are calling it. If he has that wide of the range, then okay, I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna go with the call once more. I'm gonna 1/3 here with ace king. Pretty fucked up river for him also. Worst river for him. We have king jack here. But still, I mean, tens, I think they need to be betted. Like, he can bet small there without problems. But nice. Now you know where he got the money to buy drinks and girls, because he was like, whenever I called him, he's with some girl. I'm with this I'm out. So now I know where my money went away. Crazy how you find out the truth. Sometimes really crazy. We see a pretty big open, but for sure it's not like this. He's not opening 70% for sure. He should be checking a lot. I'm gonna go small. Deuce 9. Interesting hand there with tens. I think the guy played the turn perfectly. He played the flop perfectly. Turn is perfectly played. We need to raise sometimes ace jack on the turn. And on the river, I think it's clear bet with tens, because he can bet it small. I mean, okay, I'm gonna ship hands like king x, but it's like we have king 9 suited, kings with the club, but basically that's it. It's not a lot of combos, and I think he still gets, he bet the turn with 1/3. I can fold like nines on 1/3, and okay, I have a lot of air hands, like hands like with the ace of club, but still like small bet works really good on the river. It sucks when you got shoved on, but fold. He didn't three bet at all, but I think the small bet on the river is really good, because if you think about his bluff, what he gonna do with like aces, ace deuce still ace 9 of like hearts. If he's not gonna double barrel it, and I saw that his double barrel is not that okay, it's 60%. He can then double barrel it, but still, if he gets to river with some, I don't know, like 6 7 of hearts, 7 8, stuff like that, he can just bet it with that small size and have like hands like queen x in that size, or hands like tens. He can be protected, but I don't like that he did check here, because he still lose value from some hands like nines or eights, and bet like 1/4, even better on the river. And he then puts us in tougher spot like this. He in a spot, in 3-bet pot where I have not straight, he has a full house, he didn't win anything. So that's the reason I don't like the river check. Also, what I noticed, uh, I used a lot of small sizes defensive bets on the river, and I don't see a lot of people doing it, and that's like GTO. Uh, it's peer use it really often, in many occasions. We saw it yesterday. A lot of occasions peer used that small bet, defensive bet on the river, and I don't see people doing it, and because they're just afraid to be raised. That's why I put this pop-up. I just want to see what people raise in every line against every size, and in that pop-up you will see, okay, I use that small bet, but is guy ever gonna raise versus that small bet as a bluff? So that's the reason. Here on this board, I'm checking queens because we have a lot of pocket pairs here, uh, and this is not the board where we're gonna like 1/3 like all range. So I'm play it defensively. We saw 58% that is calling or three betting. Let's see. Okay, he had this is like 60%, 6-7 off, 5-6 off, and stuff. Let's see his to just to see what size I'm gonna use. I'm gonna see his how much he folds after he did step check check fold a lot. So I'm gonna go with 1/3 size on the river, and then I can go with 9s, 10s, 8s. I can all bet ace 5. I can bet with this size without problems. Good night, Zemo, and I hope to see you again. Always pleasure to talk about poker with you. So see you, man. I know this is now you change your biorhythm, so this is now pretty late for you. So good night. Falling there. Yellow rose, we don't know the range, so I will try to just go with what I presume. If not, I'm gonna go 1/3. He's folding really a lot on a 3-bet. I'm gonna go with to a different table when this table broke. His range, he folds a lot onto 3-bet, so I would say he has hands like 4s plus here. He's gonna call 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s. Not many 9x, like 9, 10, 8, 9 suited, but he's maybe even folding some of the 8, 9 suited. I'm gonna bet the turn here with the ace deuce. I'm not gonna check it behind. It's nice to block deuces, but still I don't think he has deuces in the range because he folds that much, so it's not that much important. And I don't think he has king queen, king jack off definitely, king queen. Let's see his 4-bet range. Okay, he probably 4-bets like part of the king queen, maybe 1/3 of the king queen off, and I don't think he calls it a lot on a 3-bet. And again here I'm just going with the small size on the river. Why? Because we have ace jack, ace 10, ace jack off we have, and we're gonna bet it on the turn frequently with blockers. That is our bluff. We're gonna bet some ace queen also, so I'm just gonna go 1/3 on the river to protect it nicely, because ace jack can definitely bet river with this size. And if we get shoved on, we are obviously calling, and we have protected our ace jack, which is important. We just got to the 9-9, but I think we played the hand perfectly. This will be, I'll talk about the hand just later. He's 3-bet. I'm gonna go with the call 4. Hope I won't get shoved on for the 5-6 time, but let's see how much he folds to call 4-bet. Okay, he folds 50%, 5 bets, ace king. That's nice. If he shoves, we are folding, of course, ace jack, but we are in the good spot if he calls. Again, this is like sixth time we get shoved on, and I didn't have a low value hand. Okay, let's just think about the range here. So we are betting 1/3. He's calling. He should be check raising a lot on this board because he's overfolding here. He should be folding pocket pairs here immediately on this type of the board. So he should be check raising a lot to compensate that, and he didn't check raise. On the turn, I'm double barreling with the ace deuce. He only calls, which is okay. When he called here, uh, he's gonna have mostly like hands like king x. He's gonna have nut flush draw still in the range. On the river, I'm just using small size is for the reason I explained. We're gonna have a lot of like ace jack, ace queen of type of hands, and we're gonna protect it. I'm going big here because we have more 9x that he does, and that's why I'm gonna go with the 5x here. We have advantage in the nines because our range is pretty wide, and it's here 75%, but I see that it's not on the team state name. He's pretty tight. He's having like 45% like normal range, and we have 9-7, we have 9-6 off in the range, so I'm just gonna go with a bigger size when he's delaying with that size. But here we just protected that. I mean, ace deuce is he doesn't have ace 8 suited in the range of calling a 3-bet because he folds to a 3-bet 60%, and in this spot he folds like 65%, so he doesn't have ace 8 in the range, probably even ace 9, because 65% of the fold, I don't see like many ace 9, and maybe he's 4-betting part of it. His 4-bet range is like around 4%. In this situation it will be more, but still we are not beaten here often. We are mostly beaten from hands like nines, but they should be also check raising a lot. So he doesn't have ace king with that 4-bet range, so okay. First call 4 against this guy. This hand is so good to 5-bet bluff, but I'm not gonna do it against him. I think I would call this, and I wouldn't shove it. I would shove to the black combo, so spade and club, because I should be shoving it as a bluff. Now we are not shoving it, but I should, and I would do it with the black combos today. I'm gonna go. This guy is probably fish. Let me check. If it is, then we can also call. And we did 3-bet a lot. And no, I just didn't have time. This guy's a fisher, so pretty nasty river for us. But still, I really like that we use that small size. I really like it, but it didn't work good. I can take away that he did immediately shout, instant shout, so I can write it down. But it's let's see his fold versus river. We don't have it. Went to showdown 33. Okay, I can do it with. I'll just use spot bet 7-10. We are of course bluffing this. We have like our bluffs will have a lot of 10x's also, so it's not a problem. I'm gonna go with an overbet here. So we have a lot of you see here what's the problem, just from the range perspective. And we have a lot of jacks, queens and kings here. So this ace is really bad for us. His river aggression is also really low. I would check this hand, but his river aggression is pretty low. He only has aggression frequency of 25. So I'm gonna bet it with the normal size, but generally we want to check this. So if the guy wasn't a fish, I would definitely check it, because it's pretty, when we overbet on the turn, we have a lot of overpairs, and that overpairs hates to see ace, and ace doesn't need to overbet always, because it doesn't need even protection, and it can be just it blocks ace 10, so it's better with the small bet. But just because the guy's a fish, I did overbet it, and because if the guy play correctly, I mean, we have range advantage, so that's why I overbet, because he should be three betting nines or tens. Maybe he doesn't do it, but still I think overbet on the turn is fine. We have strong draws also. We have queen jack. Again, the problem is I don't know his range. Just based on the that he's a fish, I did overbet. But on the river, aces are clear check, and against the normal player I would check it, but his aggression frequency is pretty low. He maybe even bluff like queen jack or king queen or king jack. Maybe he won't even call like king jack or king queen on the turn, or 7-8. I don't know. His folding to a turn is not, it's only 40%, and on the I see that he's only folding to river 29%. So I think he's more of the call station guy than he's gonna turn hand into bluff. Threes, I'm gonna call. I'm gonna fold it immediately on this board. So that's basically it. Why I decided to bet the hand that is always check on the river. Just based on what I said, a lot of our over pairs, and when the ace hits, we have aces, we are blocking the top pairs, so he will have trouble time to have that ace or that calls an overbet on the turn. And I think hands like aces should be always checking, and if you have like nines, that's then clear bet. But aces can protect those overpairs really good, and that's the reason I knew it was a card that I need to check, but based on his frequencies, and mostly because it seems that he's more of a calling station than bluff, and he doesn't fold a lot on the rivers, then it's better to just bet it. And that's why I used just normal size. I didn't use overbet. Then again on the river, just a normal size. 4-5 is a fold. Jack 3 also. Look at this. We have 128 hands on the guy, and everything is nothing. We basically don't know anything about him. And immediately I knew that I will have trouble on a table where I don't have sample. Now we have okay sample here and okay sample here, but we didn't have sample here, and this guy killed us also. When we had he had sixes when we had ace king and hit it. That was also interesting hand. Yesterday we saw when the guy has wider range, we can just put it in the small size a lot. This guy he did call shove preflop, right? No, it was just a call. Okay, call of the 4-bet. He needs to bet all range but 1/3 size. Against 16% I will fold. So he needs to bet, but with the bigger size. This is 125. It's like 1/5, and then he's shoving on the turn. It's not that bad, but I don't think it's good on the 9. I think if the turn was jack or 10, then okay, but I don't think it's good like this. I'm gonna just call there because the reg is donking. On the 779 it's a paired. I don't see his I will fold it here. Let's see his multi-way called. Okay, he has off okay, I'm just gonna call it because he will probably have like 8-10, 6-8 because we saw. I didn't notice, but this is really wrong range. Multi-way, you see queen 8, king 8 off, deuce 3. So you see pretty wide range, 50% of overcall. So he's gonna have like, he can have 8-10 off here. He can have 6-8 off. We are not betting here. I'm just gonna check. He has ace-9. That checked. And he did donk ace-9, which I think it's okay. If I didn't notice the range, I can fold on the turn because I really didn't ever thought that he would have hands like off connectors or like king 8 off. So in this spot he can have bluffs a lot based on his range. So, but this was his first donk. Interesting play. Let's see his went to showdown. I just need to turn this into bluff because everything got there and we have the hand that won't, that one, because you see like this jack hits us good. He should be betting jacks, all type of king ace, so he will mostly have 10x, and basically everything every draw that got there, so I'm bluffing my bottom pairs. I just need to see the size that I'm gonna use. Let's see. I'm gonna go with 1/3. I'm just gonna call. With aces they don't need protection. It's also only a call here. 12%. His river frequency is only 25. He's not aggressive on the river. Let's see if he had any bluffs after betting turn. I'm gonna fold this. I'm okay with the fold there. Just based that he's not aggressive. He has aggressive frequency of 25 on the river. He should be like bluffing without no equity here, and I don't think he's doing it because his turn frequency is also really low. So he should be bluffing here without, I don't know, without any equity, and then bet the turn without equity, which from like 30 aggression frequency I don't see very often, and then on the river bet really high size in this. with a frequency of 25. I just don't see it happening, so I'm gonna just fold it. Aces just can caller. We don't need to three bet it on the flop, but it has also to. It's important to know how much he check raises, but we don't know for that spot how much he check raises. But also that board we need to have a lower c-bet frequency. Also, that's also important. So in this board, if the guy didn't isn't passive fish, I would check aces here a lot on deuce 3-4. If I'm against the reg, I would check aces really often. So but against this type of player, I'm just gonna bet it. And you see here is aggression frequency now high, but in the reality on 113 thousand hands he's really tight. So 7.8. Seven ten fold, queen 4 fold. Today I'm gonna go 2 hours. I'm tired from yesterday, and tomorrow I will try tomorrow to do it on in 10 a.m. and in 10 p.m. no later. Today I watched till the end of Chelsea and Villarreal. I'm gonna call it. Here's also a spot where he should be betting. He should be really betting. I'm gonna go here with again. I'm gonna turn it into bluff. Sixes. We just need to we need to turn into bluff pocket pairs. Sometimes he did fold a lot on when he checked behinds. He folds really a lot, and basically we don't have a lot of bluffs in this spot if we don't turn that pocket pairs, low pocket pairs into bluff. Sixes are maybe too much. We have threes, fours, and fives, but still I like to do it. Let's see here, cutoff versus blind. We don't know anything. So today I will go 2 hours. We are now almost 2 hours. And tomorrow I will try to do it at 10. So a lot of guys that wanted to see to be in a discussion, they can do it. If I go a little bit before, but I just can go sooner than this. I will bet it, and I will go with the higher size. I just can go before 10. So 10 is the earliest I can go. Okay. I'm gonna go one more round. I will mix 4 tables also. So if you when you want the 4 tables, just let me know, and we will do it 4 tables. I usually only play 4 tables. I feel the best when I play 4 tables. It is optimum. I play really bad 6 tables because I just can't think about hands, and I try to play only 4 of them. Okay, I'm gonna call it against 20%. Let's see if the guy uses overbet range. Not that much. He did use 1.6 with the bluff here. We have also part of the ace queen here. Ace queen off, a lot of ace queen off. I'll go with, you see, his check fold is 6 out of 6 times, so I'm just gonna go smaller. I thought about going bigger, at least 3/4 of pot, but I'm just gonna go, even with my bluffs, I will just go. If he's folding that much, there is no sense. There's just no sense to be, because you get same result, and you're just putting him in a tougher spot if you use lower size, because he needs to defend them more, and if he's not defending more, then better for you, and your bluffs are cheaper. Let me just check how much he folds, because in this spot against GTO we should be checking some ace kings here. Fold versus 3-bet is lower side. Okay, he folds less than a normal player. He folds only 40% in these positions, even less. So it's possible that he even have hands like ace jack off. So I'm gonna go bigger size. He's gonna have also off queen hands. His turn fold versus in the 3-bet pots. He folds river really rarely. One jam ace king. Fold there. I think the jam is the best play definitely here, just based on his stats, and just based that he's gonna have more ace-x, and queen kicker is here, so shove ace king is definitely working the best. So tomorrow I will try my best to start in 22 hours, and also I see now that you're getting notifications, so it will be better. So see you tomorrow then.